What's up, TikTok? Welcome back, everybody, to today's episode of Clicks and Bricks. Today is August 24th. Thank you for joining me. And if you want to join my text line community, 314-370-2871. Did I say it wrong?
No, it was me.
Oh, sorry. Sean hit the wrong button. 314-370-2871 is my text line community. If you send a text to that number, ask me any question about business, technology, personal growth, whatever you want, doesn't matter. You can ask me a personal question, I don't give a shit. And I will do my best to answer it in a timely manner for you. Today's episode is brought to you by inlink.com, Rapport Made Easy. So if you go to inlink.com and you sign up for an account, you'll get a nice URL. My URL is inlink.com/Ken. It's got all my social media profiles, my Twitch, my Twitter, my TikTok, all of those profiles in one place. Inlink.com/Ken. Sign up for your account today before your name is taken. Moving on to our first story today. This one's kind of funny. This is the Lady Squad NFT project. And the big news here, folks, is if you're going to invest in NFTs in today's market, watch and understand what the hell you're investing in. Know the project before you jump into it. Kind of understand who the creators are of the NFT, because that's what's going to be the long-term draw for an NFT project. Not just buying some silly little GIF on the internet for anywhere between $10 and $5 million, right? Make sure you know who it is. But these guys, so this is an all-female NFT project, and they did it under the clout that it was all-female backed, right? At least that's my impression of this article. We find out after it's launched, after they're selling, it's all on OpenSea.io, which is a really great NFT marketplace, if you don't know. So they launch on OpenSea.io, and they do it as a female-only NFT project, and it's 3 dudes in Russia that did all of these things. So they're caught red-handed, and they're trying to give it back to female charities and female empowerment stuff. So they're doing the right thing with the funds, but I don't think they would have if they didn't get outed. I think their intent was to do these NFTs under the disguise of it's a female business and trying to sell them that way. It's a shame that they have to do that tactic, but we're going to see a lot of this kind of shit in the NFT world. It's just going to happen, right? There's so much money flooding the market for NFTs right now that we're going to see a lot of shitty projects. Make sure that you don't get caught in that trap. Really do the research, take the time. Find the creator on either Clubhouse, or they're probably got a podcast. They probably have something else. If they're going to be any kind of substantial NFT, they're going to have some other kind of information about them somewhere else other than just an OpenSea. So don't just see a project and go, oh, that's great, and jump into it. Do some research. These are big investments that people are making with your money. You worked hard for it. You deserve to keep it. And you want to see it grow if you buy into these NFTs. And a lot of these NFTs are going to zero, right? I mean, a lot of them are going to go to zero eventually. I think the best 2 NFT projects that I've seen are Gary V's VeeFriends and the Tops project are the 2. I do have a few Garbage Pail Kids, though, in my NFT bucket. I didn't buy them. I won them in Alien Wars, but it's a whole other set of topics. Alien Wars is it's an NFT-based game, so you get you mine for NFTs, you mine for coins, Trillium coins, and it's kind of cheesy, but then you can buy NFTs to help you mine better, right? So that you can build your NFTs, and it's all on the wax.io blockchain. So it's mildly entertaining, right? So it's good for maybe kick it up, have it on your screen, click it every couple of hours, you make it, a half a trillium or something like that. But every now and then, if you really do the research, there's some of the planets that have other NFTs in them. And you can mine those planets and those grids and do the research, and then maybe get really lucky and pick up an NFT. I think my Garbage Pail Kid NFT is worth about $8. So, but hey, I have it. It's in my bucket. I'm going to keep it forever. Hopefully give it to my daughter maybe one day and move on with life. But anyway, next topic is the Google Doc scam still poses a threat. This worm went out in 2017, right? But it still poses a threat. The gaps are not held. And that's because this is not a technology hack. This is a social engineering hack, 100%. So basically what happens is you get an email from somebody that looks like your friend asking for permission to one of your documents inside your Google Drive, and then you click yes, and they get it. That's the disguise that they're hiding behind. But what they're really doing, they're not asking for permission to your file. They're not your friend. They are an evil person, and then as soon as you click that, it opens your contact list inside Google Drive and sends it all to all those people. I don't keep a contact list inside my Google Drive. Inside the one that I use, I have a separate Google Drive that I have a calendar and my contacts in, and I sync that to my phone, but that's not my active. I keep a separate email address to use for that, and that helps me protect against that. The other thing is, don't allow access to anybody unless you physically talk to them, right? And I would say for me on my Google Drive accounts, I never accept requests for data to be shared. I only proactively push my data out, right? This is one of the reasons I like crypto so much, because I have to push it out. Nobody can just come into my account and take it unless they hack it. So inside your Google Drive, don't just click the buttons and allow people access to your stuff. It's your shit. You don't share it. And if you do, there's a high likelihood that it's a scam, and you don't really know the person, but it looks like you know them, and they know who your friends are. They got Facebook, right? You told the world who you're acquainted with. You know, they know who's in your address book. They know all that stuff. So just don't do it. Do not allow access to your content or your data on your Google Drive or your Dropbox or any other shared drive system in the world. If you get an email saying, "Hey, I want to view your file," say no. Or don't even say no, because they might even program it to no means yes. So just delete that shit. Get rid of it. It's not good. If you didn't expect it to come, it's probably not real. Moving on to the next topic, OnlyFans goes straight. This is so crazy. And the creators on OnlyFans are pissed, right? They're like, what the heck? I created this platform, I built this audience, and now fucking turn me off. Like, I can't even have my stuff anymore. I understand it. I mean, the guys from Backpages got in a lot of trouble for facilitating this kind of entertainment. Craigslist shut down their personals as a whole. I think that OnlyFans is doing this to get ahead of the government and making them turn it off. Or maybe they have a little bit of government pressure as well. At Hosterian, we don't deal with any kind of adult content at all. We're a corporate provider. But because we host hosting providers, we deal with a lot of this kind of adult content sometimes. We try to minimize it as much as possible and try not to do that kind of business, just because I simply don't like the spam complaints and the harassment that comes with it. So I definitely see where OnlyFans is coming from on not allowing user-created adult content, because it's really hard to track down, are they legal? Were they, because I'm positive we live in the greatest planet in the world in the United States. But the world is a shitty place. And you know damn well that there's sex slavery happening on OnlyFans, right? And I wouldn't want to be involved in that. Like, it's bad shit. So it's not good. I think it's a good move for OnlyFans. And for the content creators that are upset about it, don't be upset that OnlyFans isn't doing adult content anymore. Start your own shit. This is 2021. There's nobody stopping you from creating your own OnlyFans account, right? You've got all of these resources out in the world. You've got Zoom. You've got, I think in Zoom, with Calendly and Zoom, you can set up paywalls in a couple of minutes for $50 a month to have a calendar that people can book time on your Zoom account for, and it's totally private. Now that Zoom's got everything encrypted point to point, I think I just showed you how to do it and get away with it pretty easily, totally anonymous, and you can start your own business, maybe even be more profitable because you're not sharing the reward with OnlyFans, right? Do your own hustle. You don't need OnlyFans, guys and ladies. I think it's mostly ladies. Are there any guys on OnlyFans? I've never, and this is shocking for me because I like to live on the fringe. I like to know what the fringe is doing. It interests the shit out of me what the fringe of society is doing. Probably because I grew up on the fringe, right? That was a big part of my life as a child. And then even in my early 20s, I was working with rock bands nationwide. So I grew up in the fringe. I like the fringe. But I'm getting old. OnlyFans isn't my jam. I'm 46. It's not really, the fringe isn't what I'm looking to chase anymore. Anyway, OnlyFans, I think you're doing a good job by getting ahead of the game here, getting rid of the adult content now. And the content creators, don't be pissed. Use this as an opportunity. This is one of those doors closed, doors open kind of shit. So OnlyFans close the door on you, open a new door and do your content the way you want to do it. There's nothing wrong with what you're doing. Unless you're doing the sex slavery stuff, that's bad, right? That's horrible. But if you're just entertaining people and using your body to do it, I say go for it. But start your own website. WordPress is really easy. You can go, right? It's not that big of a deal. And there's a lot of other sites out there that you can jump onto. But then you're not sharing the revenue. Why would you be a franchise when you can have your own brand? Right? Brand yourself. It'll work. You got it. Get to work. This story is just kind of fun. This is a viral video that leaked on TikTok, but we have it on YouTube. And you want to go ahead and play that video while I talk? We got the audio off, right? So this is at Disney World. There's a rock and roll roller coaster, and the ride is normally always in the dark. So you can see it up here. I just thought it was a fun little thing, and somebody videotaped. Probably from their phone or that's just a small little digital camera, the whole ride with the lights on. It's really kind of neat. It's a 2-minute video. I don't know if we're going to watch the whole thing or not. But if you can imagine, I've never rode this one, but I rode a few like Space Mountain and stuff like that, the really dark roller coaster. So I can just imagine it's pitch black and you got lights. And this looks kind of cool, like you're going to have a bunch of neon stuff that you're flying by. So I thought it was really cool, and what I really thought was cool mostly is that we're living in a world today where people get to experience these kinds of attractions through video a lot easier than they ever have before. And I just think it was a neat little leak. I'm pretty sure that somebody from Disney put this together, right, and put it out, because how would you have the lights on and I mean, I've tried to bring a camera on a roller coaster before, and they took that shit right away from me. They're like, no, put that in the cubby, buddy. You can't do that. And I'm like, no, I'm going to hide my GoPro and do this. And they did not let me do it. But anyway, it's a cool little video. It's worth the watch. It's worth 2 minutes. Kind of makes me want to go to Disney World. Is Disney World Florida or California? Which one's Disney World? Which one's Disneyland? I don't know. I've been to one in California. I think it's Disneyland, the one that I've been to. But that's where they have, I know it's Space Mountain, stuff like that. I've only been to California's Disney World. I've never been to California Disney, never Florida Disney. Next story is really, really concerning. And this is, we know this is a possibility, of medical hacking, right? Or medication hacking. And I know I've talked about pacemakers before and the ability to hack pacemakers and vehicles and these things. But these are the only ones that I know, that the infusion pump flaws. I know a couple people that have infusion pumps, but it's all for diabetes. And I don't know what other infusion pumps they have, right? So it's the insulin thing that goes out. But they found, I think this is good, right? Because McAfee has been taking these devices, these infusion pumps, and just tearing the shit out of them, breaking them apart, and really trying to hack them, because it's supposed to be impossible to hack these interfaces, and because really, really closed. But McAfee found a way, and evidently it is possible to change the dosage on a patient remotely through a hack, and they can just increase the flow of the drug. So, I mean, this is a really weird world that we live in, that you have to be wildly careful about the medications that you get, how you're taking them, what you're putting yourself subject to. My gut is that even this hack, from when I read it, they would have to have physical access to the device to manipulate it, and then they might be able to have remote access. So that's a benefit. I remember when I was younger, I dated a girl that had a pacemaker. And when I was younger, we literally still had rotary phones, right? And she had a pacemaker, and every week we had to put this thing, and I was young. I was like 20, right? And she was young too. She wasn't like an old lady with a pacemaker. She just had a heart problem. I didn't date old ladies when I was young. But she had to put this big magnet on her chest and then put the phone on there and dial in, and then like a week later she'd get a report from the hospital of what her heart rate was and all that stuff. That's how they did the monitoring. So, but it didn't have Wi-Fi or anything. But now everything's got Wi-Fi, and I mean it's scary as shit. You know, it's bad enough that they can hack your cars. I drive a Jeep, so I'm not really worried about it, about the car hacking. I've just enough essential parts on the Jeep, so there's not a whole lot of technology in my Jeep that they could hack, like a Tesla. But hacking the medication, man, and the pacemakers, all that shit. I mean, think about the hostage situations that are now with data, with the crypto locker, right? If they say, hey, I have your pacemaker or your medicine, and I'm going to kill your daughter, and by overdosing her on insulin tomorrow night, if you don't give me all your money, I think I send all my money. Like, I don't know what else to do there. So these are problems that need to be solved. They need to be solved immediately, or this technology needs to be taken off the shelf. I mean, it's just that simple. I think if I had a device that was intravenously giving me some medication, and I thought there was the possibility, not even probability, the possibility that somebody could get into it and manipulate my dosage, I would remove it and run away from that as fast as possible. So I don't know what the solution is. There's a lot of smart people in the world to figure that out, and I hope that they do. Last section of the day is just my productivity tip for the day. Kevin O'Leary has a tip that I get. I see him give it a lot, and he doesn't even take credit for this productivity tip. He says he got it from one of his entrepreneurs, but I've never heard where he gets it from. And it's not high tech. It's very, very low tech solution, and it did not work for me. But I modified it a little bit. So, and maybe this is good for you, Kevin. I'm not sure. So the tip is every night before you go to bed, literally write down the 3 things that you want to accomplish first thing tomorrow morning, right? And then put that on your mirror so when you're brushing your teeth, you see it, and then that's reinforcing, oh yeah, I'm going to do those things before I do anything else. Before I check my phone, before I go to email, before I do anything else. Well, for me, what the problem is that I do a lot of the same things over and over. My mornings, my whole day is pretty much packed, right? From I wake up at 8 in the morning, and my day is busy until 9 p.m. At 9 p.m., both me and my wife end up at our house, and we have from 9 p.m. to midnight together, and then we go to sleep. So we have 3 hours of together time every day. But other than that, from 9 a.m. or from 8 a.m. till 9 p.m., I'm going. So at one job or another. And when I wake up, my routine is very, very processed, right? I wake up, brush my teeth, take my shower, do all those things. Well, when I first started these 3 tips a day, 3 things that I'm gonna do the next day, it was working really well for me. Okay, Ken, you're gonna wake up every day and you're gonna meditate for 5 to 15 minutes. You're gonna do 30 crunches, and you're gonna work on, the thing that I'm working on right now is gratitude. I'm really bad at it. I'm a fantastic at talking about the shit that I don't have, and I'm really bad about acknowledging the shit that's really good in my life. And I have a lot of good shit in my life, so I'm really trying to focus on that gratitude. What I found about after 4 weeks of doing this, writing my task down every night of what I want to do the next day, it ended up being the same 3 damn things, right? And then, well, that's not doing much for me anymore. It's just, it becomes routine. As soon as it becomes routine, then it goes away. So I like to have my routine, and now what I'm doing is I'm writing 1 thing down a day on that Post-it note and putting it up there, because my day is so packed already. If I want to add something new to it or increase something, so my gratitude is I'm writing, every day I try to write down 3 things that I'm grateful for, or I go back and I look at one of the things that I've written down before, and I kind of try to reflect deeply on that thing. It's hard, it's cheesy, it's hippy-dippy bullshit, but I promise you it does work. So I went from 3 to 1 thing, and that 1 thing, so he says write that down, but he doesn't give any advice on what to write down or what to do or how to do it, right? And for me, it worked out really great in the beginning, but I found that I did these same 3 things over and over, and now I don't have to write them down anymore because they're the same every day. It's part of my routine, and it becomes part of my habit. But I wanted to keep this tradition of new things and new exciting things. So what I modified it now is I have my 3 things, and I might go and say, okay, tomorrow morning, instead of 5 minutes, I want to push to do 20-minute meditation session, and I'm really trying to get to an hour. My 15 minutes fail pretty drastically right now, but I'll get there. I don't have any problems with chugging through the grind to get better at something. So just make a modification to one thing. So either one new thing or push yourself on one of your other things that you do on a regular basis. So, for me, it would be, okay, today I'm gonna, write down 4 things that I'm grateful for, or do 40 crunches tomorrow morning instead of my 30, or push myself on meditation or something brand new, right? One thing that I probably should do is text my mother more, right? So, those kinds of things. But three new things to do every day was overwhelming for me, right? Because my day's just super slammed. So I broke it down to just one new thing, or modifying one of the things that I'm already doing, and then that helps me, push myself, kind of stay out of that comfort zone a little bit, and keep moving forward. So if you got any value out of the day's show, please hit the like and subscribe button. We're not going to talk about if you want a dark web scan, if you're worried about, is your username and password out there, we're giving away free dark web scans. Hosterian.com/dark web scan. Click the link and we'll do a scan for your business name, your email address, and we'll send you a report. First one's absolutely free, no charge at all. And we'll send you a report of how many times we found a username and password on the dark web that's published as your username and password. So I think you'll be surprised. I was pretty shocked when I did my dark web scan. So if you'd like to join my text line community, 314-370-2871. I'll never try to sell you anything on that line, just tips and tricks. Send you information, stuff about what's going on in my life. If I find something new and exciting, I'll kick it your way through that text line community. You'll get 1 to 2 texts a month from me on that line. It's not going to be something that's like really spammy or anything like that. So that's it for the day, folks. If you found any value in today's show where we talk about business and technology, click that like and subscribe button. We really need you to grow. We appreciate you watching. Until next time, get to work.